because this conversation marks a shift for No One Told Me This. In the next season, we're going deeper.
A lot of the men who are in jail right now are there for crimes of passion. They kill. We don't do that. Are you going to go and kill somebody for a man? I think not. But they will kill for us.
Have you ever abandoned yourself to keep the peace? Your eyes are beautiful. People are paying to have eyes like you.
True that. I do think that women are taught to tolerate more.
Okay.
I think that we're expected to be the ones to keep relationships together.
I'll abandon each and every one of you quick before I'll abandon myself.
Welcome back to No One Told Me This. Today's episode is different. There are no titles here, no roles to uphold, no polished talking points. Today, I'm sitting down with the women who know me best, my sisters and my niece, for a conversation that feels more like a living room truth session than a podcast. We're answering anonymous questions about womanhood, from the things we enjoy the most to the lessons we learned the hard way, and the parts of ourselves we're still becoming. Different generations, different experiences. The same thread, navigating life as a woman in today's world. And if this episode feels a little raw, then that's intentional, because this conversation marks a shift for No One Told Me This. In the next season, we're going deeper into womanhood, from identity, boundaries, relationships, loss, joy, and the truths we don't usually say out loud. This is where that begins. Welcome to the family roundtable. So welcome to the pod, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
I feel like we should have done this ages ago. It's been a long time coming, and I've really wanted to do a session just with all of our chit chat and talk about the world and our heated debates. I felt like we should bring it to the camera. But thank you so much for being here. First of all, how's everyone feeling?
Yeah, good.
Good?
Yeah.
Don't be shy now. Say how you really feel. So I just want to start by saying that there are no right answers today, because obviously we're answering anonymous questions. I know that we know this anyway, but just for the sake of clarity, it's just about you and your experience. We don't need to persuade anyone to agree with us or anything like that, just more where you are on your life's journey as it stands. So we will be each answering the anonymous questions in front of us, and we'll go in this order. I will start, then it will go round to Roberta, and on and on. So then you'll pick up a question, you'll read it out loud, and then you'll answer it, and then we'll just see where the conversation goes from there. Yeah? So before we get into that, the first thing I want to ask is, when you hear the word womanhood, what's the first word, or what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear that word womanhood?
I had negative thoughts immediately.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's so sad. Mine are injustice and compromise.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we went straight into it.
Yeah. I would probably say the same. Like when I hear women, I'm like, it's hard. It's hard to be a woman.
Okay.
Everything, like from growing up, having your body changing, then to being a mother, then to, later on in life, I feel like women, we never get a break. Our bodies is always changing on us.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Okay.
I feel like I had a really rudimentary view. When you said womanhood, I just thought of like a voluptuous body shape. But that's, and maybe that's, boobs. No, and maybe that's because of how we're told women should look. But then I thought of like womanhood, like that we as a collective, we're very powerful. So the unity that is like a group of women all on the same side, good luck trying to break that up. It's possible, but if they're on the same side of one accord, then yeah, it's very powerful. So I thought of it, in a different way.
Okay. I actually thought of it in that way in terms of a collective of women. But when I thought of that, I thought that's what it should be. But I don't feel like that's the reality of what it is. Because we just have so many different sides. Amongst women, generally, we just have so many different sides. So although it should be womanhood as in like a community, it doesn't really feel like that most of the time. So that's interesting, because I guess we all started quite negatively. I hope some of these questions might pick it up a little bit, do you know what I mean? But I will get started. So the first question, straight in there. Okay, so the first question is, cosmetic procedures. Do women do this more for themselves or for men? I have a nuanced view of this because I can see it from both sides. And I think I say it more from a perspective of being a mother and feeling like your body changes so much, and then feeling like you want your body to go not back to the way it was before, but you want it to be in a place where you recognize it, and a place where you're comfortable with it, and you're just trying to get it to a sense of normalcy. And I know that seems weird, but when you have kids, I feel like your body's out of your control. And I guess maybe the cosmetic procedures in one way is trying to feel more in control of the way our bodies look and feel and whatever. And in that moment, it's actually not about men. This is just from my personal experience. In that moment, it's not about men, it's about how we feel in our own skin. Because as you said in the beginning, like a lot of times with women, our body is not our own and things like that. So yeah, for me, some of it is reclaiming. I get why people do it in a sense for themselves. I also get why women do it because there are certain things in society that men say they like. And then you constantly see it all the time on social media and all everywhere. And then you think, I'm not that. I don't look like that. It's lowering my chances of finding love or whatever that may be. So I can see like both sides. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think for me, I see it as I'm doing it for myself. Like if I look in the mirror and I don't like what I see, if I can enhance it, if I can make it, something to make me more confident and happy about, then I'll always choose me. You know what I mean? I don't care whether a man says, oh, your boobs are too small or they're too big, or you got, can we go and like, no, that my body's my body. As I said before, it's hard enough to be a woman than have somebody tell you. And I think I've only got here recently, like in the last couple of years, like just being happy with myself. Whereas before, when I was younger, like you said, you do see a lot of things out there, and you do think that, oh, maybe if my lips were like this, or I think I was even telling Belinda the other day, I was like, oh, I think I've got like hooded
eyelids.
Yeah, and I want to, like, if I can just get Botox and and then Belinda just
in his face.
And I was like, who told you this?
Yeah.
Who made up this thing?
Yes.
Your eyes are beautiful. People are paying to have eyes like you.
True that.
Hey, is everything okay?
Yeah. So so I think for me anyway, if I'm going to enhance anything, it'll always be for me and not for anybody else. But
Okay.
like I said, Belinda brought me back to earth. So
I was like, if you've got to spend money to be spending on hooded eyes, let me know. I'll spend that money for you.
we're doing that.
Dee, what do you think?
The male gaze is so secondary. Like, who even cares? They're gonna come regardless of what you look like, and we all know that. So if anything, my standpoint is anything that I do to myself, it is for me. Like, I'm one of those people who I like myself. So if there's something that I like or don't like, I'll try and work on it. Doesn't have to be like cosmetic in the sense of surgery, but it can even be like going to the gym, or maybe if you constantly have negative thoughts, like I'm going to change this, I'm going to go to therapy, or whatever it may be, but it's always for me because I live in my body. So this experience needs to be a good one. I really don't care about what the men think.
And that's that.
I think one thing that you said, Jess, made me think about this in a different angle, in that you said like control. And I wonder whether the rising, or the extent to which the rising rates in cosmetic procedures is linked somehow to how the world is becoming more crazy and people are looking for ways to control different things. So for some people, and people are using different mechanisms to do so. So traditionally sounds like a weird thing, but eating disorders are known as a thing, like I just need to control when people have anorexia and so on. And I don't know, it might be far-fetched, and it would be great to have some kind of sociologist and psychologist leaning in on this, but I wonder whether that is, because it is growing, and it's not like, oh, people that have had children. You have people who are 25 having facelifts. You don't even have the face you're going to have naturally at 35. Allow your face to go somewhere before you lift it. So I think that a lot of people do feel pressure. I think that I understand what you're saying about the male gaze, but I think that sometimes it's so insidious. It's so it might not be top of mind, but we've been conditioned to think about it in some way anyway. So
it's also very accessible today, surgery. It's no longer really taboo. It's been normalized. It's everywhere.
yeah, and
As
it's
you
not
said.
just surgery, it can be non-invasive. So if you think about people having fillers, Botox, not just everyone doing BBL or whatever, but there's a lot of that going on as well. People moving fat from one place to another. And it's become normalized, but what underneath that is what is normal is that the way you are born will probably need to be modified.
What do you mean?
As a woman, it's becoming more normal that the way
that as you are, you're not good enough.
at some point you're probably going to have to modify that.
Yeah, I'm really into Pamela Anderson right now and all her.
You are Baywatch.
Because who knew that she would have been the modern icon for like women just accepting themselves and allowing themselves to age and not wearing makeup and just being like, no, this is actually just what women look like when they get older. I didn't see that coming because from Baywatch days, you know, maybe thought it would have been Madonna or something, but.
Well, I mean, she's gone the other way.
But yeah, so now I just feel like it's interesting to see that more and more women are just trying to bring some sense of reality back to us because we have gone a bit crazy with it. But yeah, really interesting question. Let's see. Rob, what's your question?
Let's see.
Put the glasses on now.
Okay, so the question is, what do you find more challenging, supporting other women or being supported by women? That's a really good question. I think for me, it's receiving support from other women. So being supported by other women, I find that really challenging, just because I don't know their true intention. I know when I show up for them, I'm all in, you know. You just tell me, I don't even need to know the questions. It's like, where do you need me to be? Gang, I'm there. But for me, I find it hard to accept that back. I think the only time I feel that is with you ladies here. I know that, you know, when it's all said and done, you have my best interest at heart. Can I say another woman has my best interest at heart? Or is it she wants to gain something? Do you know what I mean? Let my guard down and then you mess with me. And that makes me really uncomfortable. So I find that very challenging. I think it's sad, but we're not each other's cheerleaders anymore. It's like we're trying to be the best in the room or the loudest in the room, but really and truly, like, I think if you go back to the conversation we were having before about womanhood, you know, if I support you, we can get a lot further than you trying to, you know, stamp on me to get to where you need to get to. So yeah, feeling support from other women is very, very challenging for me. Like Deesa always says to me, like, you're mean. I'm just like, no, it's just like, I don't know their intentions. So I have to just, you know, until I know your intentions.
Keep your guard up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And does that come from experience? Like, where does that come from?
Oh, it comes from when I was in school, you know what I mean? I think if I'm being specific, there was one girl who pretended to be my friend. And then in the end, she ended up setting me up to be like beaten up like after school.
Excuse me?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We need names. We need location.
We need address.
Right that door.
Yeah. And it was really bad. And, you know, to the point where she even spread lies about me. And I used to go to school like terrified. Mum would have to come and pick me up. I would have to leave school early before all the other schools left, just in case they were waiting for me and stuff like that. So that went on for like a few months and stuff while I have to sit at school while everybody's gone home, wait till an hour and then go home. It was, so that's, for me, that's, if I'm thinking, that's where it started from. So I find it hard to receive that kind of support from women.
Yeah, that makes
makes
sense from that example. And then you feel like in the working world as well, the experiences have always been like women trying to get ahead, like similarly.
Oh, 100%. I think also I've always said that when I was younger, I prefer to work with men just because what you see is what you get. There's no hidden codes. There's no, go behind your back and be like, you know, chit-chatting and, did you really see what she did? It's not like that. They'll just tell you to your face. As I've gotten older and very more secure and can articulate what I want and knowing that I'm comfortable in my skin, I've had some of some of the best female leaders that they actually support me, you know, and they give me constructive, you know, feedback that I can actually work on. So yeah, but I think when you're young and you're coming up, because you're also trying to find yourself, it's just everything's a challenge. Do you know what I mean? From the boardroom to when you get home to what kind of car you have to drive to, like, do you know what I mean? At this point, I don't even mind, like, you know, driving those little smart cars, you know, and you could never
Girl,
find.
you know you ain't gonna get no smart.
No, we ain't gonna see you in a smart car. Don't even try it.
You don't see me about in a smart car. Like, get out of town. You know? So yeah, but
I like that you had positive experience after the fact that
yes,
yeah, now you've got more confidence in yourself. You've actually had experiences with women that are really positive and can support you. At least it shows you that it's possible.
yeah, and I think it's because they also feel secure in their skin. But whereas if you have like somebody who's faking it to make it, for example, they always feel that you're a threat from what you're bringing to the table. Do you know what I mean? They don't want you to get highlighted. They don't want you to be, you know, center of attention. They don't want people to speak highly of you, you know, because I think one of my directors said to me, you know, if you're not in the room, who's going to advocate for you? And that's what networking is all about. And that's what womanhood is all about, you know? Don't just be when you're there, you're thinking, oh, I'm doing a great job. It's when you're not there, who's advocating for you, who's saying, I think she deserves to be on this table and that table, you know what I mean? And that's really stuck with me, you know?
I love that. Thank
But
you.
I think it's also interesting that you didn't put on other people. You said as you also decided to grow in knowing yourself, that also changed the quality of relationships.
Definitely.
Because you knew what to ask for. You knew early on, not, you know, to set the tone.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important takeaway, because it can be like the whole world's against me, but sometimes it's the way we present ourselves as well.
Yeah.
Not that girl in school, we need to find her.
We will find her. That's for
We
another
will.
We have particular set of skills.
a particular set of skills. Thank you. Okay, Dee, do you want to ask your question?
Okay. Do women love more deeply, or are we conditioned to tolerate more? This is an interesting one. I don't particularly think that women love more deeply. I just think that we are socialized to be able to express our love easier than men. I think it's difficult for the average man to express his love the way women do, because we're quote unquote allowed to. They kind of have to have like a tougher exterior. But I think if you get someone who's in touch with their emotions and stuff, you'll find that men really, really love deeply. A little statistic, a lot of the men who are in jail right now are there for crimes of passion. They kill. We don't do that. Are you going to go and kill somebody for a man? I think not. But they will kill for us.
I need to know.
And you like that?
Well, no, don't kill me or for me, please. But men really, really do love deeply. It's different to show it. We can talk about our feelings all day long. It's just not as easy for them.
As someone that comes from a research background, I need to know where this data comes from, who they studied.
How long did the study go on for?
Everybody go and Google it. A lot of the men who are in jail right now are in jail for crimes of passion. Literally, it's always something to do with a woman.
But is that crime of passion, or is that not a lack of self-control?
No problem, but it stems from them loving the lady. It stems from them loving
No problem.
Is that
big problem?
Is that love? That, because it kind of leads to like, I love you so much, that's why I beat you, or I love you so much, that's why I killed them, or you know, I don't know what's love got to do with it.
Depends what you want to say, but if you ask them, they will say it's because of love.
Okay, yeah, I would disagree. I would say it's because you don't know how to control yourself, and because you haven't explored different types of emotions. It comes out as anger. So you were sad, you were upset, you were lonely, you were like, I'm gonna lash out. That's the answer.
Kill you.
But I can understand why they're like, oh my God, this is what love is.
Yeah.
Killing for someone.
Yeah.
Like,
I do think that women are taught to tolerate more.
Okay.
I think that we're expected to be the ones to keep relationships together. I think we're expected to forgive more easily. People know, like, oh, if you do this to a man, he's never going to forgive you. People know if you do this to a woman, there's a high chance she'll forgive you. So I think there are things like intrinsic things that like if we don't, and if we act like men, it's like, oh my God, like, why are you so hard? Why are you so difficult? Why are you so this? Why are you so that? But if we're just giving what we're getting, that's not accepted. What's accepted is us being more tolerant of bad behavior, quite honestly. Yeah. So it could be anything, like, and I'm not saying like it has to be extreme, like someone killing someone or anything like that. I'm just saying that generally, when it comes to making love work, people assume that men are not capable. So they put that burden on women. Yes, we're capable because we've been forced to be capable, but when are we going to start asking for the same level of accountability when it takes two people to do this, it takes two people to do that, it takes two, do you know what I mean? It is like a two-person relationship, so it should also be equally weighted in the responsibility to keep that relationship going, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think I agree with your comments wholeheartedly. Women are definitely conditioned to just tolerate and just you're doing the bulk of the loving, you know, the way, because I think women, we show how we want to be loved, and we are hoping, without actually saying it, that they get it, but they don't. So, you know, for example, he might come home and, you know, you run his, not to quote like any Destiny Child,
Okay, Destiny's Child, come through Beyonce.
but, you know, but you come home and, you know, you run his bath for him, you've cooked dinner for him, you know what I mean, you know, and all that kind of stuff. It's things that you would also like to happen if when you walked home and be like, oh, you know, babe, I've made, it doesn't. And I think the more we do it, the more we do ourselves a disservice. So that's why I'm just like, if that's the case, then both of us are not doing anything.
No one's having a bubble bath.
No one's having a bubble bath. And we're going to go out and eat every single time before, you know, because I want you to understand, you know, if I'm giving because I'm trying to show you that that's what I would like as well.
That's the problem, though. Like, that's a problem for women. Like, why are you assuming that based on your actions, someone's going to understand what you want? Use your mouth, use your words. What we say to all of our kids, say what you want. You can't assume someone's in your head or they know that, okay, she's doing this for me, so she must want that back. Excuse me, you're going to have to tell the person. And when you tell them, then they can do exactly what it is that you like. If they choose not to do it, then you know that they're directly disobeying orders. That's different. That's different. But you can't just be like, I'm giving you all these things, I expect them back. You've got to say it.
Why not? Like, isn't that the way of love? Like, it's a two-way thing. Like,
so
what I do for you,
and I'll do it.
But I don't understand why everything has to be tell me. Like, I'm not your
not every day.
Like, I'm not your mother. You claim to love me. You claim that you know me. You want us to be together. Then what would you do for somebody that you love? What would you do for them?
I understand your point. I just think that the tricky part is that the thing that they might do for someone they love, you might be like, I don't like that.
Exactly.
So that there needs to be a level of communication, because when we make assumptions, you're going to get something and that person's like, it's love, and you're like, this is not
Facts.
And so you run that person the bath and they're thinking, I don't even like baths.
Yeah. I prefer a shower.
Oh God. So that's why I think
in the shower there, you know.
No, but I mean, like, it's not like
I know what you mean. Yeah,
doing what you like for the other person doesn't necessarily mean they're going to receive that as love. That's the whole thing about love languages, right? So, for let's say receiving gifts, someone likes receiving gifts. Someone. And all I do for you is I say, oh, you're great, and I'll give you word of affirmation. You're wonderful. And you're thinking, yeah, right, whatever.
What's
all,
gift?
all you need is something in a box. And it could be from a cookie to a jewelry, whatever. And you were like, oh my God, I'm so loved. And so that's why the communication, I think, is like important. That's one thing I've learned. And also like hints and stuff. I think generally, and I don't want to sound like sexist, men generally don't pick them up as much as women. So you can drop as many hints, this Tiffany things around the house, just put the name Tiffany in sentences rather. The man will be like, I don't get it. You have to be like, I want this. Okay, cool.
I have a hard time asking.
And there's the thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to show you.
You have to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
Stick up for yourself. Stand up for yourself for what the things you want.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll just keep getting mediocre.
It's really important to say what you want.
You keep getting high fives as a form of love.
She's like, there better be a diamond in that hand somewhere. Yeah, but it's really important what you said about love languages, because some people feel like they're giving their best effort and we're missing each other. Like your acts of service, you're doing all around town. And then maybe I just want quality time. And you're like, but I'm doing all this stuff. I'm showing you. And I'm just like, just sit down. No, seriously. So we like completely like misunderstand each other. So on various levels, whether it's gifts, whether it's this, whether it's that, I think the love languages and even just generally in life, the way we communicate is so different from person to person that if I now decide I'm going to show you love, I'm going to show you love, of course, in the way that I receive love naturally. But then the focus of relationship is to learn how that person receives love and then to do that thing. And that's why it takes genuine effort. That's why now if I communicate to you, this is my love language and I really appreciate this, and you're not doing it and you're there doing something else, I'm going to start to question whether we're a good match, because I am making it clear and I'm communicating. And now it's a capacity question. Like, do you actually have the capacity to love me in the way that I need it? Or are you only able to do what you're doing and that's your limit? Because if that's your limit, then we need to know.
Or are you just being disobedient?
Obeying orders, disobeying.
Disobeying a directive.
Oh my God. Okay, Belinda, your question.
Okay. Have you ever abandoned yourself to keep the peace? I'm trying to think if I can think of a particular example. I probably have, but a long time ago, probably, because you know me now.
She's a rebel.
Gang.
But yeah, I think as someone that was just more quiet in general, or probably in past relationships, definitely abandonment there. Was it to keep the peace? Or was it just to be accepted, or my version of accepted? More that than to keep the peace. But yeah, don't do it. Don't abandon yourself. I love you all deeply. I'll abandon each and every one of you quick before I'll abandon myself.
Yeah, we know.
And I love that for you.
We know.
It's been a journey.
No, because then it just causes so much within yourself, and you have to heal from that. Your body just, from that betrayal of yourself, it takes a while for your body to recover. Whereas I can buy you a gift, for example, and say, sorry.
All is forgiven.
But to keep the peace, yeah, probably more for acceptance than to keep the peace.
I like that. I think that's interesting because this is a question, well, this is a topic that has come up a lot this year in different conversations I've had. But mainly, well, this is about abandoning yourself to keep the peace, but mainly around how women are conditioned in a way, in a sense, to abandon themselves in order to be chosen. So when you say accepted, I'm kind of like feeling, yes, similarly, like if I do this and if I let go of this expectation, if I let go of this, whatever, I will be chosen. Everything will be okay. I'll have this steady relationship. I'll do this, I'll do that. Whereas if you make known that actually my expectations are here, or actually I want this, or actually whatever, that person has the opportunity to abandon you. And so sometimes we don't want to risk that because we don't want to be abandoned. You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot that women do for the sake of being chosen. And that's a whole conversation in and of itself.
I agree. But for me, I wouldn't choose peace over, what was the question?
Have you ever abandoned yourself to keep the peace?
No, I haven't. The thing is like, you know, being the eldest and stuff like that, it's just sometimes I'm always going. So at what point am I going to keep the peace? Do you know what I mean? Like I've had to fight for everything, you know? So for me, it's like there's that I would never abandon myself, because if I do, then I don't know. That's my I don't know, maybe that's my default thing. But if I abandon myself, then how's things gonna get done? Like, and also like, for why? For who? No one's paying my bills. No one is, you know, literally no one's putting food in my fridge. So if I'm abandoning myself to and keeping quiet, just keep the peace, I'm doing myself a disservice, to be honest with you. And I think that's why I'm always kind of like, I just won't abandon myself. I
Just
can't
say it as it is.
Yeah, I can't afford to. That's what I think is what I'm trying to get at. I can't afford to. If I could and be like, oh, still going to get done or whatever, I'll be like, oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
but I can't, and I have never been able to. You know what I mean? From the youngest age, from, you know, being 7 and being left at home to babysit Belinda whilst, you know, mum goes to work or whatever. that Belinda. And so what am I going to do? Sit there and cry because I don't know what to do with a 2-month-old baby that's also crying and be like, oh, like what?
Let's cry together.
I had to get on with it. I had to like make the milk for her. I need to like just all of that. So again, you know what I mean. I've never been able to. I think is what I'm saying.
But in not crying and joining her, I see that as a form of abandoning yourself, because you put her crying before you're crying. And it's like you think you're not abandoning yourself in the decisions that you make, but you kind of are. And I think that this isn't a question exclusively for womanhood, because life requires compromise. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are, where you've been. We've all sacrificed ourselves for the sake of peace. It's kind of a part of humanity. Sometimes you do stuff for the other person that you don't want to do in the name of keeping the peace and for the bigger picture. So I don't really know how I feel about this question.
I think that's different to abandonment.
But sometimes, depending on how you look at it, it can feel like abandonment. So for example, one thing I hear from married people a lot is that it's not everything that you need to complain about.
Agreed.
I hear that a lot. Otherwise, you guys are going to be going out all the time. So, for example, you might have a husband who isn't really on top of the dishes, for example. I feel like dishes is a man thing because women have nails. But anyway, cool.
I think you're going to be really shocked.
They're not really on top. Well, I don't do dishes and I won't be because I've got nails. But anyway, cool.
Because everyone else is nailless.
I know.
Well, enhancement, the one that you put on top of the nails.
Okay.
Anyway, you're going to make me lose my train of thought. Okay, cool. Yeah, that. So
I'm sorry. Let me just clarify. You believe that the majority of men are doing the dishes at home because
bins and dishes. Come on.
You believe that the majority of men are doing the dishes at home
and the bins.
I'm gonna put a live poll on this because
bins are fine.
The bins are universal.
Okay, so all men do the bins, yeah?
Not necessarily, but let's say the majority. You believe that the majority of men who have partners who do their nails, they do the dishes.
Yeah. No?
I love that for your life.
So sweet.
Her life is very niche.
Anyway,
I love
moving
that
swiftly on.
Yeah.
If you've got a guy who doesn't tidy up or whatever, do the dishes as often as he should, you might have told him 6 days out of 7 that week. On the 7th day, my love, you need to rest because you guys are going to have an argument. I've abandoned myself, though. There are degrees to the abandonment, but I wanted to say something, and I'm not happy about the condition of the house. And I've told you every day, I'm going to abandon how I feel for the sake of peace. I'll tell you on Monday.
So
as an example, it's a small one, a trivial one, but you
no, it's not.
abandon.
It's not trivial because it builds up. It builds up. The dishes are building up. But I think the way I understand abandonment is like it's almost like your core values that you decide to leave aside to keep the peace, and you don't keep the peace. When you don't adhere to your core values, inside you will be burning. But I think there's this thing where we work out almost like a priority list. So you work out a bit like you pick your battles. And you actually get to the core of what your values are. So my value, if I'm in a relationship, let's say, is that my partner gets to have like alone time, that we both get to have alone time. So that might mean that sometimes I'm doing certain things that I would like him to do or help with because it's a scheduled alone time for him or something, and it's important to me, and I know that's above me getting help with the dishes, let's say. And so you have to really work about what your values are and what's more important. So, and it's also like the terminology we use, like, oh, I've got to go to this with my husband or with my wife or my partner. You don't have to, because then you make yourself a victim, and you don't have to. There are plenty of people that don't. They don't have great relationships, but they don't. So you decide, you know what? It's a value to me that my partner feels supported in this. It's a value to me that we do this together. So I'm going to this. Not my favorite thing to do, but I'm going to go with them on this. And so I think that mind shift. So you're not really abandoning yourself because you're adhering to your values, right?
Okay.
And that's a different way, I think, that's the way that I look at it.
Yeah. I do see that more in the compromise thing and like give and take of just general relationships. I think like with the abandoning yourself to keep the peace, as I like to say, whose peace am I keeping? Because like you said, I'm going to be there in turmoil within myself. Like, I'm really not happy about this. I really need to speak up about this. It's making me feel a certain type of way. But if it's something trivial, you're not going to be there stewing over it for days. Do you know what I mean? But when it gets to that point, you know, it's something that you really do have to address and speak about for sure. Okay, next question. Was the boy Brandy's or Monica's?
I don't even know.
Because I don't even know the lyrics like to the T to really like support one or the other. Who knows?
What year did it come out? Was I born?
I think it was Brandy.
Not was I born.
Brandy's boy.
So then I can know.
But I think it was also it was similar timing. So I think he started dating Brandy first, met Monica on a day out, and then he started also dating her. But the boy was Monica's.
I thought you said it was Brandy.
It was Brandy. Sorry, the boy was Brandy. Sorry.
That boy he was none of those.
Ooh, for the streets.
If we're having this conversation, that guy is not yours and he's not yours.
I know.
He's mine.
He's mine. No.
None of them should have him because that's not going to go well, is it?
No.
What do you do with him afterwards?
They won.
Wait for the next
The end.
to be calling you.
The next battle. Okay, your question, Rob.
Okay, so the question is, what are your thoughts and experiences with comparing your life's timeline with other women's? Shall we do it again?
No.
What are your thoughts and experiences with comparing your life's timeline to other women's? This is actually a really good one. I used to be so competitive. Like, I needed to have had this before a certain age. I needed to have that before a certain age. I literally, like, if I go back, I was like, by the time I'm 25, I'm going to be in my chosen career. I'm going to be married. I'm going to have my house. I'm going to be driving this, da, 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 da. And when I watched like my friends and stuff like that, and I was a bit like, I'm not getting anywhere. Like, why am I not getting anywhere? But as I've gotten older, it's all about, I think it's just all about not comparing yourself, not comparing your journey to the next woman's journey, and really just being happy at every stage that you're at, because there's a reason why you're there. You're learning something, for one. And if everything is given to you or is compared to another woman's, what they're doing, you're always gonna be miserable, right? You're always gonna be comparing yourself for absolutely everything. Oh, they got this before me, and like, I actually don't care. Like, I actually don't care. I think one of my apart from Dara being one of my biggest accomplishment, the second one was actually me buying my own property, thanks to my sister, but me buying my own property. And I wanted to do it for so long, and I just thought to myself, you know what, let me just wait for my husband to come. I see all my friends getting properties and with their partners and stuff, and then here's me just like looking outside, like, oh my god, like, why? And I tried so many different ways and it didn't work. But when it was time, it just went so smoothly, to the point where I'm like, how? And that's when and not to sound all churchy and stuff like that, but sometimes God just literally intervenes and you still don't have a figure out. You know what I mean? Like, don't compare yourself to others is what I'm saying. Like, just don't. Their timeline is their timeline. Your timeline is your timeline. Yeah. And I hate when, well, not I hate, but comparing myself, I was always miserable.
Comparison's actually the thief of joy, like in every sense.
I was so miserable. Like, I'll go to work and I'm looking at this and I'm looking at, oh, why should you have that? And I don't know. No, it's all right. I'll get mine when I get mine. You know what I mean? And that makes me, I'm so at peace. Like, the last couple of years I've been, just peace. Well, maybe last year and a half it's been peace, shall I say. Just because
that lines up with perfectly since I've been home.
I wouldn't say
she brings peace to your life.
It's me. No. Yeah, I'm just everything is like, oh, okay then. You know what I mean? Like, no, you can't force me to do anything just because you're on that trajectory. You know what I mean? Is it trajectory or trajectory?
Trajectory.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I used to, but I don't anymore.
Love that for you.
Amen. Yeah, I think that aligns with, I think most women have done that. I've done that before, but expecting things at certain ages. I don't know when I dropped it. It was a very long time ago, but I realized that when you are expecting those things that we see as blessings or whatever, there's also burdens and stuff that come with that. I'm not necessarily looking for that. So
Exactly.
Was I ready? And my timeline is very different. God showed me a long time ago that I'm just supposed to be, if everyone's is like this, I'm supposed to be like that. The way I look at life, the way I do everything is going to be like that. So I either make peace with it or I'm fighting God.
Yeah.
I'm going to make peace with that. And it's a very peaceful place. People will always try and impart on you their advice, which is their own insecurities,
Literally.
and perceptions. And you need to instill boundaries about the way people can speak to you. And you can just be like, that's someone else's life, that's not mine. And I choose something different for myself, which can also offend people. It can offend older generations who take that like very personally. Or maybe like people, even with your friends and stuff, I'm just choosing different, as if like it's a judgment of them. No, I'm just things are working. And people expect you to be really sad, like, oh, but it's just so hard, like just not having a husband and sometimes people can feel a bit offended when you're just like, I just love it, and they've got a husband.
I sleep just fine.
Be really secure in yourself. You've got to be really secure in yourself and almost quite insular. Like, you just look at yourself and you just look at your journey. Otherwise, it gets really sad, like you said. And even for me, there's little things that I do. So, like, on my Instagram, my social media, I don't follow, like, a lot of celebrities. I follow a few that, like, I really like their fashion or, like, their makeup, whatever. But I don't need to be looking at all these people who are maybe the same age as me, maybe a little bit younger than me, just living lives that are completely different, because it makes you compare, and you can't compete where you don't compare. So when you just look at yourself, your own achievements, the things that you've done, you'll be very happy. Like, it's a very insular thing, and it's a happy journey.
And also you'd be comparing yourself to something that is not real. A lot of it isn't real.
Like I said, I'm actually in a bubble. There's some stuff I really don't know. For example, that video with the wig lady, even though that's more comedy side of Insta and not like the lifestyle side of Insta, I'm really here. What's happening here is what I know, and I'm really happy here.
But what I'm saying is that what people are doing now is comparing themselves to something that isn't real.
It can be real though.
No, so like the person probably did go on that trip and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's all they post on their Insta, and that's not their everyday.
Okay.
We don't know what they had to do to go on that trip.
Okay, got you.
Whether it's work really hard or
got you.
whatever.
You just see the happy side.
Exactly. You don't see them when they're sad. You don't see them when they're arguing. You don't see them when they're having. And even like pictures that we've seen, we're like, you can't, seeing is not believing anymore. People like Photoshop to, it used to be a professional thing. Now everyone filter this and they're like, why don't I look like that? They don't look like that.
Yeah.
And then you're sad because you don't look like someone that's not a real, like, it's insanity. So,
that's a big one.
Yeah. Like really being in yourself and thinking about also like the range of things that you want to achieve. I think that's also, really useful as well, like emotional, financial, physical, like having a range of things rather than just get that money. Like it's cool if you want to do that. But it can't, when you have just one particular thing with that, when you don't hit that, can become really difficult.
Very true.
Because you're comparing.
I think it's your question.
Okay.
These are nails.
In your life so far, what boundary has taken you the longest to learn how to enforce? I feel like I want to skip this because I enforce all my boundaries. I don't play.
Okay. But it's in your life so far, so obviously you've had a journey with them, right?
Or I just don't have any boundaries. What boundary has taken you the longest to learn how to? I haven't had a journey with boundaries.
You can pass if you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass it because I feel like with all of you guys, I've been able to like live through you and just make different decisions.
You think that you live vicariously?
No, I have to learn the hard way. I have to go through the fire. However, I always say this to people around me that I have really amazing female role models because certain things that they've gone through, I haven't had to go through. You all have different like you don't really speak up. Sometimes you don't enforce your boundaries. I'm not really sure what you're on. You're safety conscious. All these things. I'm jumping out the plane. I'm choosing myself. I'm not quiet. So it's like I've had all these things to learn from in like fantastic ways. Do you know what I mean? Okay.
Glad I could help you out there.
You know what I mean? I'm glad my trauma
helped you. I love this one. So glad I skipped. Do you believe in one soulmate for each person? Why/why not? We spoke about this in my salon all year last year. Right. I used to believe that there was one person for everyone because if love is real, how can you love more than once? Like, what is that?
Easily.
Okay.
Do you get it? Because like if like with what love is supposed to be, which I've also gone on a journey about that.
Okay.
with what I thought it was, it can only be once. You've only got that person once. You can't have that same thing twice. But what I've realized is that there are different people for you for different stages of your life. You will have more than one ultimate love until you reach is it penultimate? Is that how you say the word?
Ultimate?
No,
An ultimate before the final. Is that
yeah, until you reach your great love, basically.
The ultimate.
And then the ultimate. And they shape you until you meet that right person, and same for their journey. So I do believe there are different loves for different times. Yeah. But that was your true love at that time. Soulmate, whatever you want to call it.
I agree and disagree.
Okay.
I agree that I don't believe there's one person, and if you don't meet them on the bus that day and whatever, and that's it, you'll be sad and alone forever. I think that there are various people that you can make this work with if you are in a relationship. We're talking about romantic relationship, but I think also there are, you know, mates of your soul, great loves that aren't necessarily romantic loves.
That too.
And we focus a lot on romantic love. And then often some people don't invest enough in their friendships and their other things because they're just like, but where's this? Where's that one person when you've got all these people that you could be cultivating like amazing relationships that love you deeply, you love them deeply, but it's not necessarily a romantic love. And I think this is the thing about us needing a village to help not just raise kids, but meet our needs. We put so much these days on that one person. It's a lot. The person can't be your therapist and your gym enthusiast and the greatest person in the sheets and all of these things, and the great cook, and then you're confident. Everything on one person, it's a lot, and I don't think it's meant to be like that. But I don't think everyone has to have many loves over their lifetime.
Okay.
You know, I think someone can meet someone, they're younger, and they're like, it's you and me now. And
So you were just there, like, what do you even mean?
like
It's like, where is the love?
Like, they were just there, you're just rolling with it, like.
you're with that person and you manage to grow together.
But you didn't love them and they didn't love you.
No, I'm sorry. You and you love a person, they love you. It's reciprocal love.
But we said soulmates. It has to
No.
be like explosive.
Yeah, and I don't even believe in that.
I believe
Whatever that's supposed to mean, it doesn't have to be explosive. It doesn't have to be like boom, boom. It doesn't have to. But you commit to each other. I think that's more powerful because that one is very often feeling based, the way I see it. And people often say, I fell in love. I fell out of love. I don't believe that proper love is something that you're like, oh, whoops, fell out, ooh, fell in, ooh. In out, shake it all about. Like, I think it's something that
Hokey pokey.
Exactly. People treat it like it is, and I think that is strong affection, sometimes infatuation, sometimes obsession. But those things for me are not love. So
What's it called? Cathecting? It's a form of like admiration that's really strong. It's just one down from love.
okay, yeah, and I think and my description of love is also different to what people are like. I'm just so drawn to them, and I just don't want to do anything without them. And I'm like, well, you should probably see someone about that professionally because it sounds a bit crazy.
Because there also is like a layer to this where you realize over time, especially if you're someone that does the work and like has gone to therapy or is even just an introspective person, where you're choosing certain people in that point of your life based on your codependency, like based on like your past experiences, and based on maybe you have a need for safety, or maybe you have a need for affirmation, or maybe you have a need, and then that person just happens to be meeting those things at that time, and then you're like, yeah, this is amazing. But do you know what I mean? So in that part of your life, you might feel like they're really great for you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that this is like the greatest love of your life.
Yeah.
But they are there to teach you, and you're also, you know, this is a life school, so we're constantly learning. But they're there to teach you, and you're there to teach them about what your soul's journey is. Do you know what I mean? So I also look at it in a different way just because of that. I think that there are people that you're drawn to and that you wholeheartedly believe this is the one in that point of your life. And then you grow and evolve and you understand yourself more, and you're like, oh, okay, that's what that was. Might not have necessarily been love, might have been infatuation, might have been they really met that need for me at the time, or I thought they would. And as we grow, they're just not. And also, I don't have that need anymore. So now that attractiveness is just not there anymore. So there are a lot of layers to this and why we seek out certain relationships based on our own, I don't want to say it like it's always negative, but based on our own wounds, or based on the needs that we've had from childhood that we're now out in the world looking for someone to be this thing, not realizing that that thing is within us. So that in itself is a journey as you grow and you realize that, oh, I can create safety for myself. Oh, like, what does it look like for me to create stability for myself and not resent the fact that I have to do it for myself, but embrace it and really like it. Now I'm looking for a relationship, not needing that person to be anything, just being able to be present. And take that person for who they are.
But that's the thing about love. Because we as humans are ever evolving beings, well, I hope we are, I hope no one's staying the same, you're supposed to elevate and change and grow and do the work, and you're never going to be the same person you were last year.
100%.
I hope.
Many people are staying the same.
That's a damn problem, but I think all of us will be growing.
We are growing.
Amen.
Thank you.
So with that being said, love is a tricky one because I'm not even the same person. Like,
but then that person either needs to grow with you, and how often do you grow at the same time?
So when you don't grow with me, then I outgrow you, and then my new soulmate comes.
But your new soulmate might just be you. Like you might just.
I am definitely my soulmate, but then
you might just be like, oh, this is what I was meant to learn all along. That actually, like, I was coming from the completely wrong place, and I don't need someone to feel that for me. Like I actually am that, and I have that, and I love being able to give that to myself. And now that's what I'm saying. When you meet someone, you're not going out in the world being like, who's this person that's going to feel this? You're just going out in the world, and if you happen to meet someone, have great chemistry for who they are, being able to be present and just accept someone as they are is a privilege that we don't talk enough about. I'm not seeking for you to be something, you're not seeking for me to. We're not forcing each other to be something else, so that we like, oh, you do this and for me and I do that. Like this whole dance. Like, actually, this is who you are. This is who I am. This is either amazing or it's not quite, but we can still be in each other's life for whatever that is. Do you know what I mean? Being able to accept life and allow it to flow as it is, that's something that, you don't do enough.
It's true.
Do you believe in one soulmate?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not really. But I literally, when it comes to questions like this, I'm just like,
Next.
pass.
And I'm like, this is magical.
Because do you know what I mean? It's such a, I don't know what I'm expecting, but the point is I've stopped kind of thinking about soulmates and love and all that kind of thing. It's like, I'm happy where I'm at. You know what I mean? I'm happy to do me. I'm happy to, if I don't want to get up at, crack of dawn so we can go and do errands, I'm happy. No one can tell. I don't know. I don't know.
You're getting set in your ways. Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off.
Shake it
off, Taylor Swift.
I used to be like, everyone at work, I worked in the company for 11 years, and every year I'll be like, next year I'm going to find my soulmate. Next year, it became a running joke. Oh, have you found him yet? After it just never happened. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes I'm just like, oh, child, let me just look after myself and be my soulmate. Like you guys are saying.
But this is like the most important period of life.
Honestly.
And also some people never get there.
Yeah.
Also there's that.
I like what you said about, you meet somebody and because you're happy, confident in everything that you've got, and you meet them where they're at. You can just, there's no pressure. Do you know what I mean? There's no like, what are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table? We're just enjoying each other's company. And like you say, wherever that may take you, then let it take you. But yeah, the expectations of finding a soulmate or, do I believe in soulmates? Again, that's a new language out there for you guys.
Well, I just want to thank you ladies for taking part in this anonymous question podcast today. I know we've all been a bit honest and candid about how we feel and this, that and the other. And I hope this is one of many. I hope we get to do this again, a part 2, if you will oblige. But this, like I said at the beginning, marks a new phase and a new season for No One Told Me This, where we go deeper into all things womanhood. So if this is a bit of you, then I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much for watching.